Hello, everyone. It's just Cassie. I'm an intuitive artist who helps people come back to their creative and passionate selves. So, this is a concept of abstract psychology. It's the concept of self. And who are we? We are a facet of so many different dimensions that I probably can't discuss on this live because I just want to keep this to a minimum of 20 minutes and I'm only going to discuss one aspect of self. But in a short, sort of roundabout way, we have our core self, which is our values and our central system of who we are. But we are also a multifaceted of everything that we've experienced in life and everything we've learnt in life. And that comes from how we've walked through life and what we've experienced in life and the decisions we've made. So when we're born, we start getting our concept of self from just our makeup, like our biology, our genetics, and our core personality. But as we grow and grow and grow, we get more evolved and have to make more decisions on what is happening on our life. And we base these decisions on the relationships we have with the world, the relationships we have with our parents, our family, and the society in which we've, I guess, learnt to live in. So, this is what makes us unique, but also there are parts of our personality that we can work on, but there's also parts of our personality that we can't change. And as you can see, that this is very, very complex. But there is one aspect that I have been drawn to talk about today. There is so much information about our inner child out there, but there's not much information about our inner parent and how that relationship can work very well together. Most people call the inner parent the inner critic, depending on the relationship with your parents. And the relationship you have with your parents can make a big, substantial interaction with the person you are today. So if you have a big inner critic, it's probably because your parents were very hard on you as a kid. If you have insecurity about people leaving you, it's because maybe a parent wasn't present or a parent let you down in a big way. Or if you're very secure in yourself and you feel that all your needs are met and all that kind of stuff, you obviously had a very supportive parent. Or if you feel like you need a lot of space today and you feel overwhelmed by people, you might have had an overbearing parent. I know these are oversimplifying things, but there are a lot of case studies making this such well, it's very supported by scientific studies that the way we interact with our parents does make a big part of our personality. And I'm just going to offer a suggestion of a possible solution for you to work with. As I said, I'm just thinking there's so much work for inner child about nurturing it and loving it and supporting it. And we do this so often to make sure that we're grounded and that our emotional needs are met. But most of people in these things neglect to put in that element in our personality that's going to help our inner child grow. And that's our inner parent because our inner parent works subside to our inner child to help that relationship grow into the best possible version of yourself. And as I said, mine was probably the inner critic as well as the fear. It's just because my dad and my mum, well, my mum died when I was young, so I had the fear of losing people, so I get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes when I don't have the people I care about in my life. And my other one is the inner critic because I had to take care of my dad and my brother. So I find myself being a little bit too harsh on myself at times. I don't regret this because I think it's helped me become the person I am today. But in a way, if I let this happen over and over and over and over and over again, I would be an emotional, chaotic, anxiety ridden mess because you can't be hard on yourself all the time. And I've come to realize that through this study. And so this is what I do to help myself look after that inner critic part of myself, which I call is my inner parent, or if I feel a little bit overwhelmed or scared about losing people in my life. So this is the work I do with myself to help me. And this is what I learned through my art therapy course. So the concept itself, who are we? We are a dimension of different things. We have our core personality, but how we interact with the society and the decisions we make by that interaction becomes who we are as an identity of self. So as I discussed, we're going to work on let's imagine the parent-child relationship and how we can nurture that so our inner child needs are met, but inner parent needs are met too, because as there's a little kid, your parents need to feel heard as well. And your parent side of your personality needs to feel that it's acknowledged as well, that you have taken on what it has said, because it's really there just to protect you and look after you and keep you safe. And that's what I want to tell you, that this part of your personality is not there to destroy you, hold you back, or make you a bad person, or make you neglect your life. It's there. The core element why your inner parent there is to keep you safe. So the bad things that happen to you as a child will not ever happen to you again, because that part of your psyche made that decision to take care of you when that bad thing was happening to you, to make it spike into reality. So just firstly, just imagine that it's there just to protect you. It's not there to make you feel bad, give you anxiety or anything. It's just there to protect your inner child, because that's what your inner child thought it needed at that time, okay? So we're just going to soothe this relationship and learn how to nurture these relationships together. Okay. Okay, so the first activity is this is like, a lot of my things about play, role taking and that is to first give gratitude to the part of that personality that is there to protect you. But then the next one is you can write this down, journal it, or just visualize this. Is who would your idealistic parents be? Have you got any role models in whom you would love your parents to have? You can get these ideas from TV. You can get these from your favorite novel. You can get these from your friend's family. I got this from my nan. I always take her as a role model, and I think if she was my mother, how would it feel to be embraced with her? This is actually one of my pictures. This is Mother Moon, this one. And I painted this one because I wanted to feel that embrace of motherhood, and that's what this picture is about, Mother Moon. So that's why I chose to put my art here. But just if you were looked after by the parents that gave you peace, that gave you peace of mind, that gave you love, who would that parent be, and what would you feel? So just take some time to visualize this. If you need to pause this video, pause the video. Take time out to really, really feel into this. Even close your eyes and breathe as you imagine this, okay? Because this is important. Okay, I'm just going to go next page. I said pause at any time. Take your own time. This does take a lot of work. Watch this again if you need to as well. Okay, it will let me go to the next page. Okay, so the next step, once you've got that in mind, is imagine you were a child, or go back to your inner child, and you have been brought up by your adopted subconscious family. How would it be different? As I said down the bottom, go wild with your imagination. Nothing is restricted in the mind. Remember, there's no restrictions here. No one telling you can't think that, you can't feel that way. Just, this is your self. This is for yourself. So imagine if you took away everything that you were taught, came back to your vision. Imagine having the support from the person that you chose and seeing how things would be differently. Even you don't have to go deep into this, but if you're like me, you can also go deep in it and just those big life events, just see how it would be different. Like if my mum was here, or my nan was here when I graduated, that would be a big difference because I would have had the support of my mother too. I'm not trying to make you sad, but this is just something that I was lacking, and it made a big difference in my life because my mum wasn't there for the most important parts of my life. But if she was there, I would have a bit more confidence just to walk alone in these steps. Or if my dad had my mum, just think my dad was the best version of himself. I probably wouldn't be so hard on myself, and I probably would be a bit more confident, relaxed to do this, and I probably would be doing this work about 5 years earlier. But I'm here now, so that makes me grateful that I've learned how to do this work because of my own needs. So I'll give you some time or press pause to give yourself the space just to go through those cycles in your life to think that how would this made it differently? Okay, as I said, I'll go on because I don't want this video to be too long for people. But as I said, press pause at any time if you need more time, okay? Because this is important. Okay, so once you come back to the here and now and you've had that good relationship, ask them for help. Because as I said, your inner parent wants to help you. If you change that persona of your inner parent to reflect something else, it will do that because your inner parent is a part of you. It's not a part of the people that have come inside, in and out of your life. We model our inner parent on them because that's the greatest reference point. But we're going to just shift this reference point to be that person that we need now. And that could change in 2 years because it's the person that we need now. Well, young, we needed the constructed person, parent back there because it helped us get through so much. But now that our life's changed, we need to change little parts or tweak little parts of our little psyches to help us operate a little bit better, a little bit differently. So with the new constructed psychic personality, you can ask them for help. And it could go back to the old parent, but you can always come back to this activity. But just now, when you have this visualization so strongly ingrained in you, ask them for help. No more feeling alone in your thoughts. It's time to create a happy relationship with yourself that you are happy with. How do you want to start communicating with you? Because as I said, this is a part of you, a reconstructed part of your personality. It's the one that protects you. Your parent is the one that protects you. So think of the conversations now that you don't have that fear of loss, the fear of being criticized and that. Start talking to that part of you and seeing what it wants from you and talk to him how you want to be looked after with that part of you as well. Like my conversation I had with my inner parent is, I don't want you to be too hard on me. I operate better when you give me a little bit of freedom and a little bit of ease. And when I ask you for cuddles or if I'm crying, please don't be too hard on me. Please don't neglect me. Please be with me and please hold me because that's what I need right now. And in this moment, I do that now. I even give myself little pats and that when I feel sad instead of just ignoring my needs like I used to when I was little because that's what I was taught to do because that's how I was taught to survive. Now I've taught myself a different way to survive. And doing this visualization helps, even if you have to do it a couple of days. But this is teaching yourself or relearning to look after yourself in a loving and nurturing way, in the way that you need to, because I can tell you or I can give you suggestions of how you should look after yourself, but you really need to feel into it and feel in what's important to you. Because I'm an individual, you're an individual, and we both have completely different core personalities as well as completely different life experiences. So this has to be the right life experience for you. Okay, so now that we've really felt into being the inner parent for the inner child, there's a few things that you could do just to be a check-in and just to start this visualization, start having the conversation. These are just a few suggestions that I have. As I said, you'll definitely find your own way, and this will be easier for time to time. Okay, so how would you like to be looked after? So this is giving the inner parent the permission as well as the instructions to help you. So talk to that part of you and tell them what you need to feel valued and important. And listen to how it responds. Listen to this part of yourself and take note. And would be even a great journaling technique as well. But as I said, you can just have this conversation within yourself as well. Um, okay, so as I suggested, what will this take to make this exercise a part of your daily habit? Because if we all talk to ourselves, and it would become more healthier with your self talk if you did this on a daily basis or until you establish that new connection with your inner parent, that new space with your inner parent. Um, because this does take time to change old pathways. We actually create new neural pathways when we come up with new ideas or new way of thinking. Our brains are amazing. Our psyches are amazing. The way we are made up is amazing. And even thinking this way is so magical. I say psyche, I say spirituality, common code, because I think they're the same thing. Our spirituality is all a pre-construction of our psyche. And it doesn't matter if it's real or not. This is the thing that gives us our value, our beliefs, and if you want to say it, our destiny, because the way we talk to ourselves, the way we think to ourselves, and the things we believe really does shape our destiny and really does shape the people that we are. And this is why this talk is important, because this is going to be the main and the strongest relationship that you're going to have with yourself throughout your life. And it's the inner child or inner parent, just because they are so connected with your decision making skills and so connected with your values and so connected to your emotional self. This is one of the most, these two are the most important core self personalities. So this is why I've given it such a long webinar at this point in time, because they are so important for you to make a big difference in your life. I'm sorry I repeated that. I just find it so important because I speak to these part of my personalities every day. And that concludes the conversation. And thank you. As I said, reconnecting to self soon, like a computer connecting to self. And that's what I want to do through my work, through my spirit guide paintings. I want you to find that part of your psyche, your spirituality, that power inside of yourself through my paintings. And that's why it's so important to me. Through my classes, I want to just show you simple ways to have your own creative exercises in your life and show you that it doesn't take up too much time. It doesn't take up much energy. You don't need to be confident to do this. You just need to sit down and do it. Just to tell your mind and your body and your psyche, your spirituality that this is good for you, because habits change with repetition. Habits change. Positive, negative habits change with repetition. And the repetition doesn't have to be hard. It can be fun. And I want to show you that it can be fun, it can be easy, and it only takes 5 minutes. And I've probably learnt this being the great artist I am, that even if I spend 5 to 2 hours a day on my art, it's going to improve. But if I just do 3 hours of art every week, it's probably not going to improve, because you need to keep consistent with anything you want to change. It's that consistency that and love and kindness and nurturing that will make the difference in your life. And I'm just showing you easier, simple ways of doing this. And by adapting I won't say changing because you're not going to change who you are, but adapting your inner parent and inner child to where you are now. It's a great way to start changing those habits because you'll have more confidence in yourself, a better self belief in yourself. You'll believe that you have your own back no matter what. And these are so important in establishing a healthy self worth and establishing healthy self confidence. Anyway, I'll let you go there. My name's Cassie Gregory. I'm an intuitive artist who paints spirit animals but also helps people reconnect with their creative, empowered self. If you want to see more, my website is www.tigrisillustrations.com, or you can find me on my page, Cassie Gregory, The Heart of Tigris. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. If you feel that anyone else will benefit from this, please share this. As I said, I really want to make a difference in people's lives. And that's the work I'm trying. Well, that's the work I'm motivated to do. And that's the work I love. And that's what makes me sing, is making a difference in people's lives, helping them become the best version of themselves. Anyway, I'll let you go here. Love and light, Cassie. Mwah. Bye, all.